Guardian reporting on a giant leak of spy files and dossiers. It involves many different countries, including the United States, Israel, South Korea, South Africa, and even Russia, which is even rarer for their spy agencies to have any leaks. And among these papers were found something very interesting about the Mossad's assessment of Iran's nuclear program. Now, if you remember, Benjamin Netanyahu recently did a huge speech in front of the United Nations, including a literal bomb picture, not a bomb, but a picture of a bomb, as we're about to show you, where he explained that the whole thing's explosive and Iran's about to have a nuclear weapon. So let's go to the Guardian's reporting on this. Netanyahu's dramatic declaration to world leaders in 2012 that Iran was about a year away from making a nuclear bomb was contradicted by his own Secret Service, according to a top-secret Mossad document. Now, at the time, they explained, brandishing a cartoon of a bomb with a red line to illustrate his point, the Israeli Prime Minister warned the UN in New York that Iran would be able to build nuclear weapons the following year and called for action to halt the process. Now, I want to show you the picture of him doing that. I like that scowl he's got along with it. And did he get Bugs Bunny to draw that picture or the Roadrunner? Anyway, now in reality, here's what was happening behind the scenes. The Guardian explains, but in a secret report shared with South Africa a few weeks later, Israel's intelligence agency concluded that Iran was not performing the activity necessary to produce weapons. The report highlights the gulf between the public claims and rhetoric of top Israeli politicians and the assessments of Israel's military and intelligence establishment. In other words, he was making it up. His own intelligence at the time is telling him that's not the case. More details. Netanyahu had said, by next spring, at most by next summer, at current enrichment rates, they will have finished medium enrichment and moved on to the final stage. From there, it's only a few months, possibly a few weeks, before they get enough enriched uranium for the first bomb. Okay, now, here's what's happening in reality. But the report also states that Iran does not appear to be ready to enrich uranium to higher levels necessary for nuclear weapons. To build a bomb requires enrichment to 90%. Mossad estimated that Iran then had about 100 kilograms of material enriched to 20%, which was later diluted or converted under the terms of the 2013 Geneva Agreement. In other parts of the report, they say it does not appear to be ready to enrich it to higher levels. Okay? And they say the amount of 20% enriched uranium is also therefore not increasing. So the memos are incredibly clear. They tell Netanyahu, and Netanyahu goes, like, that's like your opinion, man. I know I pay you to collect intelligence for me. I know you're Mossad, but no, I'm going to go out there and tell the UN the exact opposite. Now, look, it's not just internal warnings. People that are in at the very top levels of Mossad and the Israeli military and secret services have been trying to warn us in public about Netanyahu and his claims and his purposes. So, Guardian explains, the former Mossad chief, Meir Dagan, who left office in December of 2010, let it be known that he had opposed an order from Netanyahu to prepare a military attack on Iran. So these are not enemies of Israel. These are the guys whose job it is to protect Israel. And they're saying attacking Iran when they're not making a weapon doesn't make Israel safer. It endangers us. It's a bad idea. Not alone. In April 2012, a former head of Shin Bet, Israel's internal security agency, accused Netanyahu of messianic political leadership for pressing for military action, saying he and the then defense minister, Ehud Barak, were misleading the public on the Iran issue. And now you go to the military chief for Israel. Now, he's a little bit more guarded, obviously, but you can clearly read between the lines here as well. Benny Gantz, the Israeli military chief of staff, said decisions on tackling Iran must be made carefully out of historic responsibility, but without hysteria. Now, I think when you go to the UN and you have a picture of a bomb in your hand and you're going, oh my God, they're going to make the bomb, they're going to explode it, it's an existential issue, they're going to kill us all. That would be hysterical and not backed up by the facts. And what we find out from this latest documents that have been leaked is that Netanyahu knew it all along. This is done for political purposes, for his own personal political gain. Because the more hysterical he is and the more he stokes those fires, the more votes he gets. It's not done out of security concerns of Israel and because he has his country's best interests at heart. If he did, he'd listen to Mossad, he'd listen to Shin Bet, he'd listen to his military and tell you what the real facts are instead of what he's inventing.